You've fallen behind on your tasks, so you work later into the night to catch up. But more hours at the desk aren't translating to better results. This is the timetable trap, treating a rigid, linear framework like it is a direct equivalent of your functional capacity. A schedule that ignores your energy limits triggers a psychological need for control. Revenge bedtime procrastination is the brain's way of reclaiming that lost autonomy at the end of a draining day. To stop this cycle, we are going to execute a 7-day system reset. This protocol replaces passive, exhausting study loops with a high-retention system built on energy management. Step 1. Grab a notebook or open a blank spreadsheet. Pick exactly one complex topic or difficult task you are currently struggling with. Just one. Meaningful progress requires moving past the more is better mentality. We are going to rebuild your workflow around the specific feedback loops that drive long-term retention. Day 1 is target identification. Write down one clear, highly specific goal for your chosen topic. We are establishing a singular target for the week so you can maintain a narrow focus. Day 2 is your baseline recall assessment. Before you look at a single page of your notes, sit down and test yourself on what you already know about your target topic. Testing yourself cold forces your brain to retrieve information. This process instantly exposes the specific gaps in your knowledge, rather than allowing your brain to rely on the false sense of familiarity that comes with rereading. Day 3 is your focus execution trial. Here, you will use the Flowtime technique. Sit down to work without setting a timer. You work continuously until you feel your focus begin to drop, and then you stop. Many people default to the Pomodoro method, but rigidly stopping after exactly 25 minutes can interrupt deep concentration just as you enter a flow state. Flowtime allows your individual attention span to dictate the session length. The core rule of Flowtime is that your break must scale proportionally to your work session. This table illustrates the Flowtime break scale. If you manage to sustain focus for 50 to 90 minutes, for example, you earn a 10-minute recovery break. Using energy-based Flowtime aligns your workload with your actual biological limits. You are stopping when your brain requires rest, which helps neutralize the accumulation of fatigue across the day. Moving to Day 4, structural error analysis. Look back at the work you completed during yesterday's execution trial. Avoid the urge to just write down a grade or a percentage score. A score tells you what happened, but it doesn't tell you what to change next. To get useful data, categorize the exact type of mistake you made. In this error log, we are using a drop-down menu to label errors as a concept gap, a math error, or an attention slip. This categorization allows you to identify structural patterns in your mistakes. Day 5 is active synthesis. Take a blank sheet of paper and draft a concise, one-page visual summary of your target topic, entirely from memory. The metric for this step is absolute. If you have to check your notes to finish the summary, the concept has not been truly synthesized. Treating mistakes as structural data allows you to make precise, targeted adjustments. You are no longer guessing what to review, you are following the evidence from your error log. Day 6 is distributed consolidation. Give yourself a brief active recall test on your target topic. Introducing a 48-hour gap before reviewing the material leverages distributed practice. This delay forces your brain to work harder to retrieve the information, which strengthens the durability of that data in your long-term memory. Finally, Day 7 is systemic evaluation. This weekly dashboard visualizes focus sessions as blocks on a timeline. A clear pattern might emerge, like a consistent energy drop every day at 2 p.m. Review your logs to pinpoint these crashes, then build intentional recovery buffers exactly where the data shows you consistently crash. The evaluation on Day 7 takes your raw focus patterns and uses them to build a schedule that fits your actual energy levels. You have just completed a full closed-loop feedback system. This protocol replaces high-volume repetition with targeted practice and structural analysis. Your work is now aligned with the reality of your energy levels. Following this blueprint helps eliminate the underlying anxiety that causes cramming. When you trust your system to handle the workload, the urge for revenge bedtime procrastination begins to fade. Take this completed 7-day template and use it as your standard moving forward. It is a roadmap to regaining control of your time and your sleep. As you start your reset, I want to hear your findings. Comment below with the biggest structural error you discovered about your own habits this week, and hit subscribe for more workflow strategies.